Hey, Mark, fake banter for the intro.
That's all I know how to do.
Great.
Good to be here.
Welcome to Tuesdays with
Stories.
Hit her in the face with a surfboard.
And then the duck fell out of his bag.
Surf's up. And she didn't even flush.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? Mark Norman and Joe List.
Yeah! This is Tuesdays with Stories, everybody.
No, that's terrible.
This is supposed to be cheesy.
My radio is spitting at me.
Hi, it's Joe List, as well as...
Hey, Mark Norman here. Here we are in the middle of COVID, SpaceX, and Black X. It's what do you call this? Floyd. It's crazy out here.
I mean, it is wild.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can hear the helicopter's been going over my house all day. It's like 90s Rodney King Compton out here. It's wild.
Yeah, tell me about it. Has it gotten violent at all in New York? Because I feel like New York has so far just been pretty tame.
Well, I mean, the protests are happening right now. I felt bad. I had to push the lady out. I was like, yeah, you got to get out there. I'm doing a pod. So she's just out in the street going, there's barrel fires and a fucking, baby crying. But, yeah, it's crazy. The cops are out. The 70 people got arrested just yesterday. Fort Greene Park is bananas. Harlem is protesting. And I think people are all over the steps of the, what do you call it, City Hall and all that shit.
Has there been, what do you call it, violence in New York? Or
I don't think so.
looting?
I mean, I think there's been some violence between the cops and the people, but nothing's burning or anything.
I haven't heard from my wife in 9 hours. We hit record and 4 texts. Just boom, boom, boom. I never hear from her.
She might have gotten pistol whipped by a popo or something. Cause
I mean, she's driving through Mississippi right now. So
well, hey.
Luckily there's no history there.
No Jim Crowbar. But yeah, I feel like I'm a reporter. I'd be the shittiest reporter. I'm like, yeah, they're on the City Hall. A couple of Jews got knocked out. But yeah, it's you can feel it in the air. It's nutty.
Tangible.
Yes, tangible. That's good. What?
Palpable. Yes.
Wow.
Well, it's weird because I went out. I took a trip out here to Louie's house. I'm hanging out with him, and I don't want to disclose his location, but he lives in a nice place.
Yeah.
And we went boating, and there's police boats driving by, and they wave, hey, how do you do? And you go,
wow.
Hey, and there's it's kayaks and stand-up paddle boards. I swam in the ocean. And
nice.
You feel that guilt. You go on Instagram and Twitter, and it's just hell and crazy, and it's a whole scene. And yesterday, I got into it yesterday a bunch on social media, and it's too much. I have to just remove myself from it because some of the hypocrisy from certain people is appalling and embarrassing, frankly.
Right.
But it gets consumed, and so yesterday, my wife and I have been together every day for 3 months, in quarantining. And it's been delightful. We're watching movies, and we have the 2 floors, of course, 2 floors of whores. And
yes.
So you got separate time. She goes downstairs, I go upstairs, we fuck in the ass, whatever it is, it's nice.
Sounds great.
She went to Houston. Her sister, my sister-in-law, is moving. By the way, does your girlfriend have any sisters?
Older sister who just had a baby, and I'm getting the side eye. Like, oh, sister had a baby. She got married. When are you going to pull the trigger? I'm like, well, I might shoot you.
Oh, that side eye. I thought you meant you want to fuck a mom side eye.
No, that's a cross eye. That's a good time. That's a fuck eye.
A brown eye.
A cock eye.
Pink eye.
Evil eye.
I just noticed there's a huge mirror next to me. It's fucking...
Oh, God. That was terrifying.
Creepy. Boy, I just had this moment. Sorry, I'm all over the road here, but I just had this moment where, Louie's got a new camera. He's testing it, and so he's filming me, and then you do the playback. Is there anything worse than looking at yourself?
Well, especially with his big dick next to your face. But, yeah, it's got to be tough.
especially like an HD, like it's like one of those, like I just bought the Super X 48.9 zoom in super cam.
You see every zit, cut, pimple, dimple, every crevice, every zit. Brutal.
Well, my hair's all fucked up because I let my wife cut it, so the haircut is just, it's retard cut. And then, not her, I look retarded. I'm not saying she's retarded, but...
Worst chain after Supercuts is retard cut. You don't want to go there. It's cheap. You pay in candy, but
but I got
bad cut.
My teeth are facing different directions. It's a graveyard in there, and then I got oval. Like I got wide forehead, thin mouth area. It's like a guitar pick.
Right. Oh, damn it! Here's the lady. I'm terrified she's gonna go. Can I come back? I'm getting murdered.
Oh, do you have to answer, or is she texting?
She's texting. She said, "You want to hang out?" I'm like, "What are you kidding? I don't want to go out into the riots."
Do you want to hang out? Doesn't she know you're podcasting?
Yeah, I think she means after.
Oh, I see. Well, what else would you do?
I'm cool to hang. I could make a day out of a TV, a jar of peanut butter, and a lube.
All right. Sorry.
Sorry.
I forget. Well, I was everywhere. Oh, so anyways, I was driving out here, the side eye. Oh, it made me think of the my wife's sister is moving back to Texas, so they're driving back. They're driving to Houston together, the two of them in a car.
Yeah, crazy.
It's like a 22-hour ride or some shit. But they left Friday morning, and I still have this. I don't cheat or lie or drink or do drugs, but when the wife leaves, you still have that feeling of like, wonder if I can what I can get into. You know that feeling, as a kid.
It's a kid thing. It's Home Alone. Your parents are gone. Let's eat fudge and put your dick in things.
That's exactly what I did. I put my dick in fudge and the fudge of my neighbor.
All right, interracial.
But yeah, as soon as she leaves, I'm like, oh, what could I do? I'm looking around the house. I'm sniffing her clean panties. I'm looking in her diary. I'm, licking stamps.
I know it too well. I mean, I used to have a friend, and he was religious, and I'd sleep at his house. And his parent, I'd wake up on Sunday. It was like Home Alone. The parents and all of them went to church, and they're like, "Mark's an atheist, devil-worshipping homo. We're gonna leave him here, and we're all gonna go to church." They put their best on. They went out there, and I would go ham in this house. I mean, panties. I was all over the sister's room. I looked like one of those chinchillas that rolls in dirt, except I was rolling in women's clothing and tampons and dildos. It was paradise.
Yeah, it's exciting. Like I can remember being at I moved into my previous girlfriend's apartment. Like I moved into her place and she had a job and I didn't because I was a hobo comic.
Sure.
And like immediately, and I would find weird stuff like her with, these big stud rugby players that she used to blow. And then like a box of condoms that's like 75% gone, which is weird because you're looking at it and you're looking at photos of her kissing a guy with a jaw. And there's condoms missing. And so I'm just like, each one of and I remember counting them as like a pack of a 75 pack, and there's like 8 left. And I'm like, this is 63 fucking railings of my girlfriend.
Oh, rugby rails. That's tough.
But those, then there's also something kind of spicy about it. You're like, you whore, you slut, you weirdo.
Kind of cuckoldy. I used to read my friend's girl's diary. I mean, these gals with the diary. I'm like, you're asking for it. What do you got a book called like Naughty Thoughts or something with a picture of a clit on it and a unicorn? Of course I'm going to read it. I'm 13.
Well, they have the little fucking lock on them.
Oh, that lock. I could take a piss in that lock. It would open. That lock was made out of plastic and tears. It was nothing.
I know, but even if you open it, you can't
buckle,
put it
fasten?
back together.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I left it open. I was freewheeling. I was like, I wanted her to know. Then she would come up to me and we'd start, fucking.
Well, I mean, famously, I've told the story. I tried it as a bit for years. I was in that G chat right away, and she described me as ugly to her friend. She was like, met this guy. I'm in love with him. He's the best. He's the funniest. He's unattractive, but a great guy.
Yeah.
And then it went on, by the way. The girl was like, oh, unattractive, that sucks. She's like, yeah, his teeth are fucked up and his dick's weird. But she's like, I'm going to give him a chance. It was brutally
the rugby
painful.
plus this. How do you live?
It was horrible. And then now I'm cut to 12 years later. That's on my mind. I'm looking at an HD, Louis film and I want to kill myself.
Well, it made you funny. You got to get funny. After
I
reading
guess.
that
I mean,
shit.
I was doing fine before that. I was at Caroline's. I was past. I didn't need a loved one to call me a troll.
I guess so. I mean, you got to look at Alan though. I would say something like that to Alan. He would go, "But you were plowing her, so that says something."
No, she cared about me and she thought I was a good person, but that's nice. But then like I went back in those college G chats because she was fresh out of college, and a lot of them were like, "Oh my God, I'm so hungover. I sucked 9 dicks last night and I swallowed my sister's ass," and it was pretty like weird, but also there was something dirty to know the girl you're fucking has been dirty recently.
Yeah, I guess. I think women are a lot naughtier than they give off. I think they're pretty. They got some fucked up shit going on in that ponytail.
Some, but then some you think that, and so
Yeah.
you've read that, you've read the diaries, you've seen the G Chat, and you watched HBO Real Sports or whatever that show was,
Right.
And then when you're fucking,
Real
you're like,
sex.
yeah, tell me about your uncle, and they're like, what? I'm not that kind of girl, and you're like, oh shit, sorry.
That's true. I guess that's just human nature. I mean, men do it. Women do it to men too. They're all creeps. They're all sickos and hornballs and sexual deviants. And then I listen to my girlfriend's friends talk, and they're like, "My boyfriend won't fuck me. He's a pussy. He's asexual. I think he's gay." And I'm like, "Oh, that's all they talk about." And I'm like, "So which one is it? Are we sex crazed wackos? Or are we fucking asexual?"
Yeah, I mean, similarly, like I've told the story, but I fucked the chick in Connecticut. I did the bit about her years ago, where it was at City Steam, and she took me back to her house, and she had like a Mustang, like a souped-up Mustang, and she was like weaving in and out of traffic. She was doing like 90, and she was playing Buck Cherry. You're a crazy bitch, but you fuck so good, you're on top of it.
Yeah.
And then we went back to her house, and she got on top of me and was calling me a nerd, and she was fucking me, like grinding real hard, and was like, "Yeah, you fucking nerd." And she had Buck Cherry blasting, and she broke my glasses, and she said, "If you don't come, I'm gonna be pissed." And she
Jesus.
thinks that like that's what a guy's into, but I'm like, lady, give me a hug. Tell me my dad loves me. Maybe
Yeah.
a back rub and blow me.
Right. Make me lunch, rub my feet, and kiss the nape of my neck.
I mean, I'm a sweet boy.
Right. Yeah, I guess maybe we just got to stop generalizing and realize everybody's a unique little snowflake.
Yeah, which brings us back to the protests. Everybody's whatever. But that's what I started to say. I feel guilt because I don't know what to do. Cops killing people sucks, and this person sucks. A lot of things suck. But I had a vacation planned. So what am I supposed to do?
It is tough. But I keep getting mixed. I talked to Fat Chris Al today, which is nice to actually talk to a person of color.
Yeah, he's my go-to as well. We've been texting it up.
Yeah, you get some insight, and he said I had a lot of great points that I didn't think about. But here's the clinker. I'm scared to ask as a big, honky face, blue-eyed devil, brown-eyed devil. But like, you don't want to broach it, but you want to know. But like, I saw a bunch of tweets today, like contradicting, like black people going, "Hey, white people, if you're silent, I know you're up to something, or you're part of it, or you're a cop secretly, or you need on my ass one time." But then it's also like, "Hey, white people, stop chiming in. We don't care about you." And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I just want to be a good egg and help Bernie Sanders blow yourself, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's tricky, and it's hard to win, I guess, in that way. But that's with certain folks that are upset with you or whatever, and you just got to know we're good people, and we're you got to know what's in your own heart.
Yeah, I guess it's just it's a kooky time where you have to decipher. It's tough. Just tell me what to do, I'll do it. Tell me what to feel, and there's all these mixed things, and I'm like, I don't know where to go. So then it makes you just want to step out of it, and you're like, I want to help, I want to do the right thing, I want to be a good person, but I'm scared to involve myself.
Yeah, and if you say one thing, people paint you into this huge corner. Everybody paints now. There's
Big
a lot
paint.
of corner painting.
Yes.
I'm like, boy, the rest of the media, we don't want the media getting arrested. People are like, you fucking love CNN, you fucking liberal cuck. I'm like, I hate CNN. I hate the mainstream media. I can't stand it. I think they have their own fucking problems.
Right.
But they try to paint you into this. You're this. And then both sides say, you're this and you're that. And I'm like, I'm kind of that and I'm kind of this. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know me.
I know. There's what happened to nuance? You know, it's like men are scum, but then we're all the same. But then, you know, I watched the Epstein doc, which we got to talk about. I'm halfway through, and like this Ghislaine chick is just as bad as Epi. She just doesn't have a dong, basically.
Ghislaine Bennis. No, she's a piece of shit.
So I don't know. It's all kooky. I just that's why it's so good to talk to Fat Chris Al, because I'm like, well, this black chick said this. He goes, she's an idiot. I'm like, okay, that's nice to hear, and now I know.
Yeah, it's like you said too. Like, if you don't speak, you're in trouble. If you're speaking for that, you're in trouble. I feel that way with like writing. You write a movie, and people are like, hey, there's no people of color in here, and I'm like, I was afraid to write for a person of color. Aren't I assuming? And then if I write the wrong thing, and then this. So I'm like, this is a movie with 4 white people, all based on myself, my aunt, my dad, and my grandma.
Yeah, and look,
it's a porn.
Jimmy Crackcorn, and look, we're a couple of crackers, and I, you know, we're scared to do this, but we want to help. But I think black people go through that too, with like, I want to chime in, but I don't want everybody thinking I'm the angry black guy. But I need to say this, but I don't want people to think I'm not saying enough. And then are the black people are going to hate me as a self-loathing Uncle Tom and all that? So it's got to be tough for them too. Very
tough. And yeah, I mean, we're fortunate, I guess. Our privilege is that whatever we do and say, it's just noise. It's just social media. People being like, hey, you fucking liberal cuck, fucking loser, or hey, you racist asshole, whatever. It's basically just tweets or comments we're worried about. Our friends aren't... people that we're actually friends with know who we are and know how we feel and love us no matter what. That's not up for debate or change. That's changing.
Right.
And who we are as people is not affected by it either. So a lot of that is just noise. Unless you're out in the street and you're getting fucking hit with a brick in the face or stepped on or choked, whatever that is. Yeah. That's not, whatever it is, you know, that's a different situation.
Yeah.
A dangerous situation.
The last thing I'll say, because maybe we're getting too gay here, but I really want to, and I sound like a douche from the 40s, but I really blame the media here. The media, it puts it out there so much. This guy's neck has been kneeled on. It's a horrific sight. And they keep showing it over and over like we're supposed to jerk it over here. And I'm like, look, we got it. This poor guy's family has to see this over and over, and it's a bit sensational, and I feel like they're profiting from just keep showing sad shit. Instead, we could be showing how we could help. Use the time better. I don't know. It just feels like a lot. Feels heavy.
The media is a huge player in this. No question about it. They They never, we talked about this recently, they never circle back on anything. It's all death. If it bleeds, it leads, that kind of stuff. Where, like, for instance, when's the last time you heard about Italy? What's going on in Italy?
Yes.
For weeks, it was Italy's going to die. We all die. It's crazy. They're stacking bodies 10 high. And I'm like, well, is it better? Is it worse? I mean, aren't they still 6 weeks ahead of us?
It's old news. They don't care anymore. Out. And how about this? How about the fucking weirdo who shot up Arizona? What was that, 2 weeks ago? A guy, mass shooting is going on during a pandemic. That just came and went. And also the guy was Hispanic. So I feel like this isn't sexy enough. He's Hispanic. He shot a guy. Who cares? I feel like if it's a white guy and he shoots brown people, that's a way better sell for them.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of stories skipped, and Brendan Walsh tweeted, he's like, is there not one story of somebody recovering that's like inspired? Like 1 million people have recovered. There's not any reports on any of it.
It's not sexy.
No sex. So it's garbage, and it's all capitalism. They're getting paid on the clicks and the views and the business, and they got us. And we're all part of the problem. I mean, I'm part of the problem. I watch the news and I'm like, ooh, a fire. Let me turn it on. I want to see a fire. I want to see a riot. I want to see a shooting.
Well, it's the monkey brain. You see fire, you go, oh, what's this? Fuck the nice lady. Let's see the fire.
Yeah. So we're all part of one big system, and we're all a part of the problem.
Yeah.
The grand problem, and I don't mean I don't mean the problem of racist cops or this or that. It's the disconnect and the anger and all this stuff. And Louis had a great point that he's talked about before. everybody's somehow this is a huge fundamental problem, is that everybody thinks everybody should agree on everything. Everybody's of the feeling that like everyone should 100% agree. In the past, you'd just be like, no, this is my pal. We agree with all these things, but some shit we just have staggering differences on, but we just get along despite them. And now
true.
Everybody feels like if you don't believe this, then you're a fucking piece of shit.
Right. Yeah, that's very true.
Both sides do that.
Yeah, you're right. And we do it to the littlest detail. It doesn't have. It's not just about abortion or healthcare. It's like, you don't like Marvel movies? Fuck you. And like, who gives a shit? It's a Marvel movie. It's a guy in his underwear with wings or a cape. Who gives a fuck? We're gonna fight over this?
Yeah, and it's bad and it's dangerous. And then both sides again have that thing of like, if you say this, you are this.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's like,
big one.
All right, well, I say that, but I'm not that. You know, it's everything wants everything to be very broad.
All right.
We better get to the bread and butter here. We're going to be shot and killed.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got a lot to talk about. We spent 18 minutes on that. I got a ton of juice.
Ooh, we got to tell them about the thing.
Oh, geez. Get the OnlyFans.
Where is it? OnlyFans or fans only?
I think it's OnlyFans.
Oh, all right. OnlyFans.com. Fuck, I didn't even read the thing. Mark and I are going into porn.
Yeah.
What's the porn thing? All right, we'll pull it up.
It's OnlyFans. OnlyFans.com/Tuesdays. Check it out. We're going to be doing little videos every week, and it's free. All you got to do is sign up, and we're going to be doing extra content for free. Fun stuff.
OnlyFans.com/Tuesdays, Tuesday plural. And come on over there. We thought it was a porn site. It used to be a porn site. Maybe it still is, but we don't know what's what. But they came and they wanted us, so we're going to do extra 15-minute things a week. It's similar to the Patreon, but this one's free. And no pressure to buy or own, but go over there. We'll be there. OnlyFans.com/Tuesdays. Go check it out. It can't hurt.
Check it out. It's more content. It's fun stuff. It'll probably be porn related, if you know what I mean. You're allowed to get pretty down and dirty on that site. I think that's the whole basis of the site is porn. So we're gonna dive in, and we won't tell you what it is, but you got to sign in to see.
That's what I'm thinking. I think we'll make it somehow sexual.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we talk enough sexuality on this program.
No, sex and race and retard, I think we're missing.
Yeah, we leave it out quite a bit. So
yeah, we got to fill that gap in.
Get in there and tell me some stories. I haven't seen you in. Well, actually, it's so funny. I saw you 2 days ago. And before that, I hadn't seen you for 4 months.
Well, we didn't get to really dice it up and chop it up yesterday. You had a car, and we had a cupcake, and your lady was there, so I couldn't really fuck your asshole. But
I know. We had an hour. The whole gang was there, and it's awkward because it's like everyone's first thing, and I don't know who's comfortable with what. If it was up to me, it would all be quadruple kissing, but I don't know what's going on.
I get it. I love a good 4-way smooch, but I actually did a 3-way kiss once in high school, and it's not what it's cracked up to be. But,
well, you're getting too much of somebody.
Yeah. And you got a lip over here, you got a tongue in your eyeball, you got a finger in your nose. It doesn't work. Your mouth doesn't shape 3 ways. But either way.
It would be a good scene for a movie. Sorry, if we went for a triple kiss and then the two people just clearly directly kissed and the third person's just like, fuck.
There was a little of that with me, but I won't get into it. It was in a parking lot. The whole thing was cuckoo. But so I just want to. Finally, I'm alone here, so I can be myself. We zoomed from that Connecticut house when I was there, of Cornwall, Connecticut.
Oh, yes.
And it was this big mansion on like 12 acres with a lake and a barn and all this. And I got to tell you, it was rough.
Really?
Well, I mean, I hope nobody hears this and whatever, but like...
No one listens to this show.
Yeah. I mean, somebody who was there, basically, but like... It was like 12 people, a lot of couples, some gay guys, some ladies, some dudes, straight dudes, and it was drinking every night and listening to music, and we made dinner, we made breakfast, we read books, we went in the lake, we did kayaking. So on paper, you're like, this is going to be amazing. It's going to be like summer camp. But man, I mean, when's the last time you spent 5 days or 4 days with strangers who aren't comics?
I don't know.
In a house.
I mean, probably never. I mean, I hang out with Sarah's family, my family, a big group of non-comics. Never. That's what people are like. Don't marry a comic. You don't date someone with a headshot. I'm like, I don't know. We have all the same friends.
Yes, and the same passions and lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, you bring a civilian around Ari, and he's leaving a bloody shit in the toilet, and everyone's calling each other horrific things.
Yes,
People are going to be like, and go back to their bank friends or whatever.
But, man, it was 4 days of tiptoe, eggshells, and you know me, I'm a fucking wacko cum-guzzling Nazi. I'm saying all kinds of shit, and I'm trying to fit in, so I'm bringing the heat all day long, and the heat was exactly what they didn't want, and it got wild. I mean, I'm talking... I'm alone in the sink, like, whew, I'm looking at the mirror, I put water on my face, I'm sweating. I'm like Costanza out there, and I'm apologizing to the lady. She's like, what was that? I'm like, I'm sorry, I blew it. I was too me. And, I got to tell you, driving away from there was like, I was like getting out of Dachau. I was like, I was looking at the building behind me, like, whoo, the dust was kicking up. I had a tear in my eye. I was so happy to get out.
No, you were telling me about that. Sounds like a stage of hell. I mean, like, just hanging out with regular old lady friends? Yuck.
Yeah.
I mean, Sarah has some friends, but like she's a comic, so she is that person. She's the irreverent, saying the language and the business. I sound like Cosby. The language and the boobly boops and dippity dips.
Right. The sleeping pills.
They get it. So, and now she's 68 years old, so they're all dead in retirement homes. So
yeah,
it's usually we're hanging out with comics.
But why is it so hard? To other people, this is a paradise. It's friends and a house and dinner where they're washing dishes, listening to Raining Men, and everybody's in an apron, and But I mean, it was. I guess we analyzed too much, maybe, because I'd walk in the kitchen. There's someone else in the kitchen making like a sandwich, and I'm like, oh, hey, and then everything is a thing. You're like, all right, do I say something? Do I not say something? It's like I don't know how to socialize. I completely had to be like, how would I act? How does a normal person act? What do people do in this situation? Oh, brutal.
Well, it's brutal. It reminds me of, like, I'm sure I told this during the podcast, where I was at Starbucks one time and my app wasn't working, and I was like, sorry, it's being cunty. And the lady was like, what?
Right.
But you forget that I'm like, cunty to me is nothing.
It's an adjective.
I mean, it's being shitty. But even shitty is like, people are like, shitty, whoa.
I know. I just, it blew my mind. Throughout the whole process of it, I'm like, why is this so hard? Would this be hard for Joe? Would this be hard for, Soder? Like, why is this hard? This is what people do. This is what normal people do, and I'm fucking floundering. I'm laying in bed at night looking at the ceiling like, all right, tomorrow, you talk about the weather. Bring up something. Have a news story. Look at the news. Have something to go off of. I'm preparing.
No, that's what's so special or nice about comics is Seinfeld had that great quote about you go through 10,000 things as a comedian. So you meet someone, you have 10,000 things in common.
Right.
Where you're like, oh, you could just go into comedy stories or whatever, you speak that language, and you assume, although things have changed, that they have some irreverence to them.
Right.
Whereas, you're at a green room, you're like, yeah, there's a couple of retards in the audience. Everyone's like, oh, God, I hate retards. But if you do it at a coffee party or whatever they call them, people are going to shit their pants and throw seaweed at you.
Yeah. I got a lot of eye rolls at dinner. I mean, we're at a big mahogany table, like it was the 40s, and we were polygamous. And, people are cutting the meat, and I'm saying, I'm one lady, like, excused herself. I can't remember what I said, but it was tough. And I'm just like, why? Am I weird? Are they weird? And look, you got to take some of the onus. You got to go, look, I'm super insecure. So if I say something and no one reacts, I just shut down. I panic. So that's on me. I got to just realize how to be a human. So it's partly me. Don't get me wrong. I'm aware of that. But it's just strange because you mentioned irreverent. But I think everyone is irreverent. We've just learned how to societally cool it, and keep it tamped down. But maybe I got no tamp. And they all go back to their bedrooms and blow each other and lick assholes and eat vinegar or whatever they do, But then it's just weird to come out and be like, hey, watch your mouth there, young man. I'm like, what? We're the grown-ups. Why am I? We could make the rules. We're in a cabin in the middle of hell. We can do whatever we want. It's Thunderdome.
I think times have changed, and they're not all blowing. They might blow each other, but they don't say whatever.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
It's tricky, but no. I mean, I think a lot of people have those problems. I mean, there's plenty of books and studies and shit about it. The thing to remember is nobody's thinking about you as much as you think.
Yes. Yes.
But they are, like, we've talked about this before too. People are always like, nobody's thinking about it. I remember like having hanging out with a guy who was sober. I was newly sober, and he's like, tell me some things you did. And I was like, we can't do it here. There's people. He's like, no one's listening. I'm like, what are you insane? We're sitting 3 feet from someone. I'm about to tell you about the time, I ate a girl out after throwing up in her ass. Like, of course they're going to listen. I'm going to tell you the craziest shit of my life. And they're sitting next to us.
And if I was that guy, I'd be all over this story. I'd be listening I'd be pulling out a fucking one of those big deaf guy ear horns from the 40s, Of course the guy's listening because I would be listening.
That's all I ever do is listen. But that's part of it too. Like, and I talk about this with Alan all the time is, I just realized you can spell anal with Alan.
Ah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
It's an acronym or synonym, what are those called when you can mix the letters up?
Oh, yeah. Homograph, homophobe, something. I don't know. It's one of those.
I can't remember, but yeah.
Algorithm? No.
No, definitely not that. I wouldn't even know
Aggregate?
if you said it, I think.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Agoraphobic? I can't remember.
Well, anyways.
Call in.
Fuck, what was I going to say? I don't even remember.
Anal. Anal is also an analogy.
Alan would say...
Yeah, it's a jumble. It's a word jumble.
Yeah, but I can't remember what I was going to say about the whole fucking thing.
Alan would say...
I'd ask him about something, social anxiety.
Oh, no one's thinking about you more than you're thinking they're thinking.
Yeah.
That's what you think.
I don't know. It's lost. Who cares? I probably had the thing that was going to solve all our problems, but...
Well, either way, here's the clinker. We went back the last night. Everybody the last morning, everybody's hungover. Everybody leaves. We all do our goodbyes and hug. And one of the guys goes... I think there's a restaurant that's open in Connecticut, and there was like 4 of us left or 5 of us, and we're like, we should do that. So we went to the restaurant. I sat down and ate at a restaurant.
Nice.
I mean, it was so weird. It was like a luxury.
I forgot about COVID.
Yes. You can't eat at restaurants anymore, but we did.
I didn't know what you were talking about. That's why I was like, all right.
I guess that's kind of a good thing that it wasn't that shocking to you, but it felt like, oh my God, we're going to the White House or something. We're going to a restaurant. Well, it was insane.
Here's what's so weird. So I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, and, we went on the boat today. Louis got a boat. We went on the boat. I'm swimming in the ocean. I, for the first time, completely forgot about COVID because we don't have a mask on us. We're out in the middle of the fucking water.
Sure.
Swimming and bullshitting and 69ing, and you'd like, oh, right, I forgot that there's this crazy, horrific virus, allegedly, going around, and it was pretty nice. And it's also the first time I've been in a car. Like, I drove out here, and you feel like I got Tom Petty going, the windows down, I'm doing 110 miles an hour on the highway, and you're like, you forgot what real freedom feels like.
Yes, yeah, it's nice to forget. I think that's what they're doing in Florida. They go out to the beach and, all the news crew goes, what are you, crazy? And they go, leave me alone. I'm trying to put it out of my mind here. Right.
Well, you got to be careful and be safe, but it's pretty nice out here.
Yeah, I believe it.
Nowhere.
I believe it. That's the whole point of these summer homes is a pandemic, I think.
Hey, we better give them the goods. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by Feels CBD, which I'm fresh out of, by the way. I got to get some more. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this code. Feels, that's FEALS CBD, folks. This stuff is the real deal. As you know, I was skeptical for a long time. Started taking it. That's the thing. I miss it. You get this little orange tube in the mail. It comes in a cool little tube. It's a tube inside a tube. And it's delicious. It tastes like orange peels. You drop a couple drops under your tongue, and within a half hour, my eyelids, I can still operate a vehicle, but I'm like, I'm a little dozy, a little sleepy.
Yes. It calms the brain. It just takes you down. You don't get fucked up. You don't get high, but man, you just feel better, and it allows you to doze off. Because we were a bunch of analytical brain squirrels, or just going like chasing a nut, and you can't sleep, so it just kind of relaxes you. I already feel better.
Puts you in a nice ease. It's nice. It's easy to take. You place a few drops right under your tongue. Feel the difference. I put it in my chamomile tea. I don't know if you're supposed to do that or not, but I like it. And you feel better naturally. Feels works naturally to help you feel better. There's no high, no hangover, no addiction. You can join the Feels community to get Feels delivered to your door every month. You'll save money on every order, and you can pause or cancel at any time. Feels has me feeling my best every day, and it can help you too.
Yes, become a member today by going to feels.com/Tuesdays, and you'll get 50% off your first order with free shipping. FEALS.com/Tuesdays for 50% off automatically of your first order with free shipping. Feels.com/Tuesdays, and feel better today!
Feel better, folks. And this episode is also brought to you by Blue Chew, the first chewable dick pill. That's right. We're all stuck at home. What's something we could all use a little more of? Human contact.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to need some sweet, sweet lovemaking, everybody. It's a stress reliever. Ain't that the truth? Isn't it nice to just bust a nice nut?
I hear that, sister. And sometimes I don't even feel like railing the broad, the old bag. And then halfway through, you're like, this is great. I get it now. I get what all the hype's about. Then you blow a big wad of snot on her chest, and everything's better.
Everything's better, so that's why you need some Blue Chew. This stuff is first class. It has the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. You can take Blue Chew anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. And since it's chewable, they work up to twice as fast as a pill, so you can be ready whenever the opportunity arises. It's fast and easy.
Woo, like my ex. Right now, we've got a special deal for our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free when you use our special promo code Tuesdays. Just pay the $5 in shipping. Again, that's BLUE Chew.com, promo code Tuesdays to try it free. I mean, come on, free boners. You can't pass that up. Get on it, folks, and get your dong hard again. All right.
Well, I'm glad you're back safe at Manhattan.
Yeah, this is my third trip yet, and I think I might go on one more. I want to plug this next week or this weekend. I will be at the Addison Improv Friday, Saturday, Sunday doing gigs. Fuck it.
That's wild. I'm interested to see how that goes because I've talked to a couple people working, and some places are 25%, some are 50%, and the waitresses have masks, and you have to have sex with your father. So I'm wondering what it's going to be like.
I think there's all those things, and I mean the whole process. I'm nervous going to Dallas, so come out, folks. I mean, if I don't sell this out, I'm going to kill myself because they allow 8 people in the room plus the cook. So I'm just crazy, like getting on a plane. Getting in the seat, going through security, landing, then you got to get in an Uber, then you get to the hotel, you check in. I mean, all those things. It's been so long. It's I'm rusty. You're not just rusty in comedy. You're rusty in travel and getting around.
No, and the longer you go without doing it, the less you want to do it.
Right. It's daunting. I used to go. We used to do it every weekend. So you just go, that's part of life. Now I'm like, this is quite the excursion I'm going on. Should I bring 8 bags? Should I get a fucking antibody test? Should I get an AIDS test? Should I go gay? What do I do?
Well, it's like traumatic, all the travel we were doing. I might have talked about this in the Queef when I was walking the other day and I saw a woman in the back of a cab heading to the airport in Astoria. Like she was going the route of the airport, and it gave me like a nauseous feeling because I'm like, I had just gone there so many mornings in a row on like not enough sleep, that alarm going off, and just heading to that airport every fucking Thursday, every Sunday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not ready for it. I want to stay off for a little while.
Totally.
Not even COVID. I just don't want to fly.
I get it. I'm with you, but I think once I hit that green room and then you see the show starting and you hear the people laughing and the host is on and you're like, all right, I got 20 minutes till I go on. I'm excited for that. You're looking at your notes, then you got to step on that stage to applause and the lights and the first joke and it's going to be pretty wild, I think.
Yeah, that I miss. I mean, we came in, me and Sarah and I and her sister, we came in, we saw you obviously, and we drove in. Sarah's sister rented a car and said, let's go drive around Manhattan, see what it's like. And we drove through Times Square. It's empty. And we drove in at 5 p.m. across the Queensboro Bridge, just not empty, but like relatively empty.
On a Friday, mind you.
Friday at 5 p.m. And in the old days, I think it was a Thursday actually, in the old days, they would have traffic going one way, like all 4 lanes. There was no 2 ways into the thing. It was all traffic going one way, gridlocked. And we went down there, and that was my first time getting out of the car in the Village, walking by the Olive Tree / Comedy Cellar, and walking up past Ben's. I was like, man, I would love to go eat some wings, do a set, and hang out with some comics.
I know. It's a special thing, but I got to tell you, I don't want to get too jizzy on you, but when I saw you drive by and I wasn't ready for you, I forgot you were coming and everything, and I got the chills and the willies and the beeps and the sweeps. I was like, whoa! I felt like a 6-year-old when he sees his friend and they're going to a sleepover. I was like, ah! It was great.
Yeah, well, it was funny because we just drove down to the Village. I was like, well, I had to go down there to pick up a car, and I was like, we were just looking for parking. And so we were just weaving in and out of streets. And as we were taking the left, I was like, this is actually Mark Street right here. And then there you go. Lo and behold, you're just sitting there. And I was like, lay on the horn. And Sarah's sister just banging on the horn. It was so fun. And you're like mid-show, and it was exciting. And it was the first... Well, I've seen a couple friends around Astoria, but it was exciting to see you.
Yeah, it was very exciting. Then we hung out. I mean, you have the classic thing where you were like, we're walking to the cupcake shop, so I started walking that way, and you saw me. You got great vision for seeing people a mile away.
I'm ready. I'm always ready to find somebody.
You really are. I mean, if you ever had a kid and he got lost, and you would see him in that pedophile van from 3 streets down, you'd be like, there's Jimmy, get him, It's amazing. To me, you just look like a tall palm tree, but you saw me a block away, and you were like, hey, Marcus, you do that famous... Marcus, and it gets you right away, and you're like, there he is, and I feel like a puppy running up to his master's shin so he can hump it.
Well, it's hard not to just do a big group hug and a quadruple kiss and the cupcake thing, and then it's hard because you don't know who's what and who's afraid of Virginia Woolf. Everyone you walk up to, you're like, can we go in the cupcake place? Do you not go in?
I know.
And the whole time I'm going mask up, mask down, mask up, because you just want to be courteous to people.
Right.
It's about being fucking courteous, you fucking idiots. But anyways, getting those cupcakes was really something. And you and Sarah just left your cream cheese. It was so hard not to lick cream cheese off your balls.
You should have licked it, fatty. I don't care. Lick it up. It's just too much. I'm not too big of a sweet cunt.
Not cream cheese, whatever it's called.
Icing.
Yes.
Big diff.
Buttercream.
Buttercream. Boy, that's a porno title right there. Just fat chicks getting jizzed on. Buttercream. But, then did we tell them about the car, or should we hide that?
Well, I guess we could talk about the car. Well, so I came out. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'll get canceled. I don't know what the fuck.
Oh, that's right. Fuck
well,
it.
I came out here to see Louis. Let me borrow his car. Went and picked up the car, and it was very exciting. It's a nice car.
Porsche.
And, got everyone in there and dropped you off. And then it was hard because Sarah had her own car. So all of a sudden I was by myself. Like, you're I'm with my wife, but alone with my wife for months. And then you meet up with some friends. You have a group hang going. We're eating cupcakes. We're sitting in the sun. We're checking out dames. And it was all like 45 minutes just gone. And then I'm back in the car by myself whipping up 3rd Avenue. But
yeah.
I have to say, the car was on 70s at 7, Sirius Radio, and like CCR was on.
Woo-wee.
And I haven't had a random song come on in years.
Right.
Where you're just listening to the radio and CCR comes on. I got the thing full blast, and 3rd Avenue, I got it to myself. And I drove up on the sidewalk for a couple of minutes. It was just great. You feel free.
Yes, you feel like an American. You're in a fucking muscle car, basically, booming some classic rock with the window down, and it's summertime. You got the wind in your stubble. It's great.
It was really something. Driving over the Queensboro Bridge, and then parked that car, and then I drove out here the next day, and today it's 75, zero clouds. I mean, I feel the horrible guilt that the world's on fire, and I'm doing backflips with a big, beautiful dog and sitting by a campfire.
Yeah, you're on a boat. You're in a Barcalounger. You got a great tan. The whole thing's topsy-turvy. All right, so I got some big news, but I don't know. I don't know if it's bragging or if I'm supposed to say it.
No, hit me with big. Throw it in my ass. See if I come. We need big. We're dying out here.
Two things. So, I put the special out, and it's doing well. And yours is coming out. So everybody, keep an eye out for that kumquat. But put the special out. It did well, and I got a ton of traction from it. I got a ton of agencies and networks and stuff hitting me up now that we see you can get some numbers, let's talk. And I'm like, well, I'm the same guy, you chooch. Remember me from knocking on your door a year ago? But whatever. You got to prove it, I guess. So I got a little TV thing cooking.
Ooh.
I'm not going to say what it is, but I got a ton of money for it, and I bought an apartment.
You bought an apartment? I thought you already bought an apartment.
What do you mean?
You bought another apartment?
Well, I'm gonna rent this one out and live in that one.
Wow!
So
I'd like to say I had this idea about 4 years ago.
Oh, really?
We talked about it in the pod. I was like, what are you living in here for? Get a big house and rent this to my sister's ass.
Well, maybe I took your advice, but yeah, I'm gonna rent this out. I mean, this is the size of a dollhouse over here.
That's no way to live.
No, especially with a chunky lady walking around with her big tits everywhere. And so I took the money immediately and just put it right into a COVID place because I'm like, well, the prices are dropping. I'll never have this much money again. So I'm back to broke, but I got a place out of it. And I'll rent this one out, so hopefully the rent from this can pay for that.
So where's the place? Can you text me or can you show me on your body where he touched you?
Yeah, it's about 5 blocks north. If that helps.
Okay, so you're in the same hood.
Same hood, give or take, and it's much bigger, much nicer. This is no way to live. I'm living like a Mexican kid in a cage on the border here, and this is a real apartment. So
this is so exciting. I mean, now you're going to be living free.
I guess. Well, maybe we'll see. I mean, my friend brought up a good point. He was like, "Yeah, I guess you're going to rent this out, but who's going to rent in this climate?" I was like, oh shit, so I might have to rent it for real low.
Yeah, for now, maybe. I don't know. I mean, someone must be moving. There's 8.5 million people. Someone must want a place in the village.
I hope, but I'll probably go way under market or whatever the hell they call it, wet market. I don't know, but it's gonna be a low rent for a while. Then I'm gonna have to be the guy who go, hey, times are changing. We're going to have to hike that up there, Jew-face, and, I'm going to be that guy now.
Yeah, you're a landlord. You're the man.
Yeah, I'm the man. I am the man.
Isn't that wild?
Oh, man.
Now, how does it work? Because do you have to fix shit? Because, I rent, I call up my Greek guy and say, hey, my toilet's overflowing. Get over here and fix it. Are you that guy?
That's a good question. I hope. I mean, I'd probably hire your Greek fuck and try to get him in here because I don't know how to fix it, sink.
Well, what do you do if something's broken there? Yours is a co-op. So is there a super at your place?
There's a super, yeah. He's a little shifty. He's a slippery one, but we got a super, all right. I haven't seen the guy since 88, but he's around.
Because you're not super.
No. I'm not even duper. I'm stupid. I got nothing. What is it?
Pooper.
I'm a pooper, yes. I'm a big party pooper, and I ain't no super. I'm a super girl. I don't know. I got nothing. I don't know what to do. I can hang a photo maybe, or I can clog a drain. I can't really unclog, but
I'm iffy on the photo even. I mean, I couldn't fix. Well, I mean, I don't know if there's one thing I could fix in an apartment.
Yeah.
I can vacuum.
I don't know. Yeah, vacuum. That's something. I can clean a tub. I can get on my hands and knees and clean a tub.
Yeah, I've seen you on your hands and knees. I mean, for a while, our sink wasn't working, and I took a paper clip and I rigged it and pulled out some hair, and that was something, but it didn't fix the problem.
That's a rooter, a roto-rooter, or a snake, I think they call snake in it. Snake and Jake's. I don't know, but...
So when do you get the new place?
Well, we went and saw it, and it's exciting, seeing an apartment, because, it's COVID time. You're stuck in your apartment, so then you get to go to a new apartment and look inside. There's no realtor. So there's no fucking lady in a pantsuit going, this is where the nursery will go. You know, you don't have to deal with that shit. You can just kind of look around. I took photos. I farted. We fucked in there. And it's so state of the art. I mean, it's like marble kitchen and beautiful big shower and like track lighting. And they got the brick exposed. And you know, I exposed myself. I can't wait till you come by. We got a pod in there.
It's going to be the new Lunch Stuff Studios. And
you got that right.
I'm interested. Maybe you can put a comic in there so that, you know, you can come back and see it every once in a while.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Surely
like that.
Someone we know is going to get divorced soon.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. So, yeah, maybe this will be like the comics, you know, when they come in from out of town, like the RE pad, you know, people come and go.
That could be something. But they're not going to be paying monthly rent, though. You got to get someone to cover that rent.
Yeah, right. Maybe I'll need like a immigrant because they won't complain.
I'm excited because that place is it's tight. I mean,
oh yeah,
shitting and pissing there is a nightmare. There's no soap in there. I mean, and the kitchen is the living room, which is the bedroom. It's a tough spot.
It's tough, all right. I mean, even the doors, they collapse and they're like, what do you call it, vented? So, you know, my mom took a shit in here. I could taste it. It was right there, you know? So, yeah, it's exciting. I mean, moving is going to be a cunt hair in my teeth. But, you know, you do that part, you get it over with, now you got a great new place.
Well, moving's the worst, but it seems like you're going to be moving close, so.
Yeah. And there's no deadline to get out of here, so I can leave a big turkey in the fridge and then, you know, come back later for it.
That's big. That's exciting, man. Congrats. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. It's funny to have a bunch of money and then just buy something huge immediately and have no money again.
Yeah, but you have things. We were just talking about that. It's like that's more valuable.
Yeah, assets.
Exactly. It's the same as having money, basically. It's like instead of the stock market, you got a thing, and then you're actually physically living in it.
Yes, you're really getting... The stock is just Greek to me. It's numbers whizzing by on a ticker, and everybody's yelling, and I can't... You know, pork bellies and orange juice, I can't keep up.
But doesn't that make you really want to go back to work, though?
I know. I want to, like, furnish this place with nice stuff. I want to pay for it. I want to make a nut. I got to get some nut again.
I want to parlay it. I want to make a big score.
Oh, so you mean you want to lose it?
Well, speaking of work,
first reference.
Oh, sorry. What'd you say?
That might have been our first reference today.
Nah, I think maybe.
I don't know.
I'm sure there was something. I'm sure there was a small one in there somewhere. We didn't even realize.
Vinyl, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I suppose you can swivel. Woo! But, so speaking of work, and I talked about this on the Patreon. If you're not on the Patreon, you got to get on it so Mark can have a home.
And we just queefed it up. There's all new stuff on there.
Ton of new stuff, a lot of queefs, a lot of weird shit, a lot of live episodes, a lot of good stuff in there. I mean, you can join for $4, for Christ's sake. But anyway, so I did a gig. I did the first live show in New York City. And I was right in there, and it was quite a situation.
Let me bring you back to that gig. Honk. That's all I heard. It was just car honks.
It was pretty crazy. So we did a gig, the Bel Air Diner, which is like my diner, my walking distance diner, classic New York Greek diner. You can see it in Comedians in Cars, Howard Stern episode. They're there.
That's right.
And they've been doing these drive-in movies. They're playing movies, and I guess they had a DJ too. Like you could go, I don't know, dance in your car, whatever you do with a fucking DJ.
Hate a DJ. Boy, those DJs are getting away with murder. They don't do anything. They get $1 million.
I never think they need the ear cup thing either. They always got this thing going.
I don't get it. We got to call them like DJ Domino Face or whatever. I'm like, you put on an iTunes. What are we doing here?
Yeah, I don't get it. I didn't want to get one for our wedding. I wanted to just do a playlist and hit play, and they're like, you can't do that. That's not going to work.
Exactly. They're grandfathered in. They're like a union. You can't fuck around. You can't have a wedding. You can't have a party without a DJ now. Now every comedy show has got a fucking DJ. He's on the stage. I'm like, what are you doing? DJ Queefy? Little Queefy over here is spinning the ones and twos.
It's silly, and I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a profession, whatever. I mean, there's the ones that make balloon animals and they have like a silly hat and they throw things at kids.
I mean, a balloon animal, I'm down. That's something tangible, palpable.
But the phone, I'm like, I feel like I'm a better DJ. I get a tune going, I wait for it to end, I press play.
Yeah, and they always say this. They always say, hey, they mend the song when one song ends and it slides right. I don't need a mend. I'm good. I'm just let one end, one play. That's it. Start, finish, start.
You know what's better than a mend? An end. I like the end of the song. It ends on its own volition and then starts up a new tune.
Now I'm going, hey, here comes the best part. Oh, it mended. Fuck me, it's over.
Yeah, it's Michael Jackson now.
I fit the amendment.
But anyways, so they were like, we're going to have comedy. So I get a text from Jay Nog, who's a comedian, New York guy. And he says, do you want to do the show Bel Air? And at first, I was thinking it was 4 months ago. I was going to be like, show in a parking lot. Get real, pal. And then I had like a 10-minute thing of like, this is it. I mean, what else am I doing? It's 3 blocks away. It'll be fun and weird. And I got nothing else to do. And it paid pretty well, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I think they're going weekly. So let me know when you're booked on this thing. Although I think they're going PG-13. It got a little rough. But so Sarah and I went for our nightly walk. We walked down there, and they had about 50 cars. It was sold out.
Wow, 50 cars. And you could probably get 3 people in a car.
Yeah, exactly. There was a bunch of people in the cars, and they had them all like fanned out, like 3 in the front row, 6 in the next row, 10 in the next row, and it was like seated well, if you can say that.
Sure.
And the stage was the bed of a pickup truck. They just had like the gate down.
Yeah.
And it was weird. I mean, it's not ideal. And Jay Nog goes up there and goes, instead, we can't see you laughing, so if you want to applaud, just honk your horn.
Oh, God, what a mistake that is.
So he does a couple jokes. He's got some good bits, and all of a sudden he goes, yeah, so yada, yada, yada. And all of a sudden it's just and some fucking old asshole called the cops. Like the police came, like, woo woo. There's a van and like riot police show up. And they're like, you can't be honking in this neighborhood. So we had to switch from honks to headlight flashes.
All right. That's quiet.
Which is better. It was weird because it's a 6 p.m. show. It's like broad daylight. And we all did 15 minutes. Every single comic either went short or went, how much time is that?
Right, of course.
We're all rusty and there's no laughs. So I literally 8 minutes in, I was like, did I miss the light? They're like, you're at 7:40. And I'm like, fuck me.
What were you doing, 10?
15.
Oh, Jesus.
So it felt like a lifetime up there. But I have to say, it felt fun. Like you're up there, you're on stage, you have the mic, you can see the people. There was some Tuesdays there.
Yes.
And, they're waving and clapping. They're it felt like doing shows for the troops. They were so grateful.
Right. Yes. That's nice.
And it felt fun. It was weird because there's like civilians walking by and I'm talking about anal and whatever, but it was really fun. And the cops hung out. They stayed. They were over there and they were laughing and it was great. It felt good to like you leave and you're like, I'm going to go get an ice cream or something. You want to treat yourself because you did something.
You did something.
Had a little cash in the pocket, got a free meal, and it felt like, man, I miss it. But the crazy thing was I could not remember any bits. I was like, I have no idea how my bits end.
Isn't that disheartening? Because that's your bread and anal. I mean, that's what you got is your bits, and they're gone. It's like you can't even dribble as a LeBron anymore.
It's weird, but I think it comes back. You're just a little rusty, but it is weird. Like you're mid-joke, and you're like, I guess this joke is over now. Sorry.
Right. I guess so, but you look like such a chooch up there because you're like, all right. It's worse than never starting the bit,
Yeah, it was definitely awkward. I ended up doing like my suck it like a man joke from 2003.
Right. That's like ingrained in you for 30 years. That bit is just sitting there. It's the only thing you know. I know what you mean.
It's weird when you have that moment where you're like, I guess I'm telling this joke.
Yes, but hey, that's the thing about the stage is you got to figure something out. It's do or die out there.
Exactly, but it was pretty fun. I think they're going to do more of them, but it definitely made me like want to do more shows. So we'll see what happened. The Southeast is supposed to be a hot spot right now. It's opening, but there's things. I don't know. I can't follow it. And the news, COVID's over right now as far as the news is concerned. So
I know, right? That is going to be weird when because these protests, it's all for a good cause and everything, but I see a lot of no masks. I see a lot of touching. I see a lot of contact. So there has to be a spike. It's inevitable.
Huge spike, yeah. And it's weird because you're like, hey, can we wrap up? Oh, Jesus, you scared me. Louis just in here like a fucking ghost, like 3 Men and a Baby.
Dude, wow, I've heard that before.
Well, it's like you want to be like, can we wrap up this protest so I can find out what's going on with COVID?
Yeah, I know.
The news stopped covering it.
Can't we report 2 things? I don't get it. We got 38 crawls, 8 people on the screen. Can't we report both?
Yeah, scroll it up. Hold on, I might be in trouble here. What's going on? Oh, all right. I got nervous. Oh, okay. Yeah, come on in.
We got to wrap up anyway here.
You can't hear him, unfortunately, because we got this mic going.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, yeah, I guess we got to wrap up. We're over time anyways, but no, we're at the end of our podcast rope.
Career.
Well, you got stuff to plug. You got shows.
Oh, yeah, next week I'm going to be doing the Dallas Improv, so come by, come out, and I think we'll squeeze you in. Don't feel weird if it's sold out. I think we can get you in there. So, yeah, come by. We'll have a mask for you. It'll be safe and gay and weird, and who knows? Maybe I'm going to try to get down to Florida and maybe Rochester. I want to do some gigs.
Rochester would be nice because you can drive there. I'm at Side Splitters at the end of July, I think.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens. I mean, it could, it could be the AIDS epidemic there by then.
That's true. You never know. But hey, weird time, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll see. And my special, I think, is coming soon.
Please.
One place said, hey, we're going to have an offer. So who knows?
Oh, now we're cooking. People are clamoring. They want the content.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think what happens is, maybe I don't want to fuck up whatever offer, but by saying it, but I think everyone passes on you, and you got 75 million hits, and people start to go, whoa, let's fucking make an offer here.
I know these fucking idiots. I mean, have with Sam. Shouldn't that be enough? And then it's got to have with me, and then, so I hope they don't fuck up thrice.
Yeah, so we'll see what it is, but so maybe it'll be somewhere, I don't know, but keep your eyes peeled and your asshole open.
Yes.
And the Patreon. Join the Patreon and
onlyfans.com/Tuesdays. Check that out. That'll be a fun little queef. And get on the Patreon. Get a shirt. Shirts are still cooking.
Oh, and subscribe to my YouTube. They called me up and they were like, hey, this is fucking horrible. I had 88 subscribers.
Yeah.
So subscribe to my YouTube. It's just Joe List, and there's some funny old videos. There's some old weird shit that I haven't looked at since '88. So
that's right, and also you want to subscribe because when the special comes out, it'll just alert you, so you'll be ready. You'll see that puppy hook, line, and queef right out of the gate.
So do that, and you can check out my other podcast, Mindful Metal Jacket. I'm trying to get some traction there. There's 3,000 people that really love it, but that's pretty low, mister. You know that line from Christmas Vacation?
Yeah.
That's pretty low, mister. If I had a rubber hose, I would beat you. So check it out. It's fun, and it's good, and I don't know. Go stream our albums and the special. Go, even if you're, that's what we said before, even if you're not watching it, just put it on in the fucking background on mute. So it's clicking up.
Yes, here. Yeah, check mine out. I can't wait till yours comes. Can you give us a date, maybe? A ballpark? A semen? A Jew? Something?
Well, if no one's buying it, I'll do it in a couple of weeks. I'd like to do June.
Okay, that's fair. That's in one day.
So, I mean, I guess it's June at the time of this coming out, but sometime in June. So the next few weeks, I think. I just want it to be out.
Yes, like my son.
It's like we had a baby, and then we're just living in my wife's cunt.
Right. Like it won't come out.
There's a foot sticking out. Everyone knows we had it, but we're like, no, it lives inside of her, urethra or whatever it's called.
Yeah, you got to yank that out of that clam and get the vulva juice off of it and let it shine.
Exactly. So it'll all be out. Thanks for the support and for being on the Patreon. Join the Patreon. Check out what is it again?
Onlyfans.com/Tuesdays. There'll be more shit on there. It's free. Just sign up. It's kind of like our little Spotify Rogan thing, except for free and no money.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, something like that.
All right. Well, take care of each other and
Comb your hair.
take care. Comb your hair. Good luck. Wash your butt.
Yeah, and praise Allah, and what is it? Break bread and eat ass.
Yeah, exactly. All right. George is saying cut it.
See ya. Praise anal. Jews.
Quack.